What's up everyone, coming at you with our picks for every single NBA game for Saturday, February 10th. This video is sponsored by SumTheSpread.com, where you can get all of our best picks and predictions on every major sport. We nailed the Hawks -4 and the Wizards +16 yesterday. Hit that thumbs up button for another night of winning picks, and subscribe to the channel if you're new so you don't miss out on our daily videos. Welcome to all you new subscribers and new viewers. The growth has been absolutely crazy on the channel lately. Comment down below with all your questions on today's slate. I read and respond to every single comment. Okay, let's dive into our first Saturday game, an afternoon showdown between the Mavs and the Thunder. Oklahoma City comes into this game looking to bounce back from a loss at the Utah Jazz. OKC picked up Gordon Hayward at the trade deadline. That should be a pretty good pickup for them. He's out right now. I don't think he'll suit up until after the All-Star break, or at least that's what reports are saying right now, but that should be a pretty solid pickup for them. They could use a player like him, they could use another shooter, everyone always can, and maybe he can step it up on defense a little bit. He's been in Charlotte for way too long, so time for him to get out and see if he can make some noise playing in games that actually matter. The Mavs come into this game playing great. They just blew out the Knicks, not exactly the full strength Knicks, so we're not going to overreact to that too much, but they have been playing well lately and they're getting healthier. We see Luka and Kyrie and newly acquired PJ Washington, both all listed as day-to-day. We don't necessarily think PJ Washington will be ready for this game, but he might be. That's kind of still up in the air. Luka is probable and Kyrie is also probable. We expect all three of them, well, maybe not all three, but we definitely expect Luka and Kyrie to play. That's the big deal, and Dallas got rid of Grant Williams, which was their seeming real goal here at the trade deadline. So with both these teams accomplishing what they wanted to accomplish at the trade deadline, they're coming into this game with the spread looking something like Dallas -1. They're all the way up to +2 now. I think we're going to actually go with Dallas at home. I know this is kind of a weird spot. OKC is better on the road and Dallas is not very good at home. This is just a lean. This isn't going to be one of my bigger bets tonight. I don't really know what to expect with the Thunder coming off of this trade. They're not used to trades happening really, so we're going to go with the Mavs in this one as a small lean. The Detroit Pistons, riding a 2-game winning streak now, head to LA to take on the Clippers. The Clippers come into this game fresh off a loss to the Pelicans. It took overtime for the Pistons to get that win. Detroit is 13-11-0 against the spread as a away team, and the Clippers are 14-10-0 against the spread at home. This spread is enormous. The Pistons are getting 15.5 points. I don't really think the Clippers are going to score that kind of blowout against them. This is not going to be one of our bigger plays. This is a huge spread. We don't really like these too much. We're going to go with Detroit and the points in this one, but this is not a heavy lean, as we've seen the Pistons get much worse here at the trade deadline, but we haven't seen the Clippers really care too much about blowing out opponents. So I expect this to be a fairly competitive game. These two teams played only a few days ago, with the Clippers getting an 11-point win. I think this might be a little bit closer for the Pistons, with the Clippers not really caring too much about this game. The San Antonio Spurs head to Brooklyn to take on the Nets, and our next one, the Spurs are 12-14 against the spread when they're playing on the road, and they come into this game riding a 6-game losing streak. They just kept things not very close at all at Orlando. Are they going to be able to keep things close at Brooklyn? Well, the Nets come into this game losers of 3 straight, and they weren't able to stay attached to the Cavaliers. That's one we predicted. That one felt pretty good. Brooklyn's only -5.5 points in this one. Do they have the pieces to keep up with Wemby and company? Maybe not Wemby, but definitely in company. So we're going to take Brooklyn to get the win and cover at home. Not one of our bigger leans, though. This is a very crowded slate, so we're able to be very selective about which games we're going to be betting. I don't know if this is going to be one of those, but if we are going to put money on it, it's definitely going to be on the Nets to win and cover. The Philadelphia 76ers head to Washington to take on the Wizards in this one. Philly comes into this game playing on no rest. They've lost 4 in a row now. Things are really not looking great. They lost to the Hawks last night. Not a great look. They're 3-6-0 against the spread playing on no rest, so not too good, and they could be a little bit banged up. There's some chance that Maxey misses this game. Like, this team is not in a good spot. The news is coming out that Embiid might make it back for the playoffs. Like, yippee, they were not anticipating having him gone. So they're taking on a very lowly Wizards team, though, who played last night and took the loss against the Celtics, but they kept things very, very close. They're probably going to be pretty tired in this one. Washington is only 8-17-0 against the spread as a home team. Terrible numbers, and 3-5-0 against the spread on no rest. This is probably a game we're going to be avoiding. There might be some value in betting the under in this one. If we have to take a winner against the spread, though, we're probably going to go ahead and side with the 76ers to find a way to get things done here against a tired Wizards team that really is not going anywhere quick. They played a competitive game last night. This is a letdown spot for them. Even though they didn't win, I think they pretty much just shit the bed and don't keep things close at all against the 76ers. Memphis heads to Charlotte in a matchup between two of the worst teams in the NBA. The Grizzlies come into this game fresh off a loss to the Bulls, an 8-point loss, so they at least stayed attached. But I mean, against the Bulls, how much of a that's not much to write home about. The Bulls are not that amazing. The Hornets were just sellers at the trade deadline and played at Milwaukee last night. They've just been losing game after game. This team is absolutely terrible. It looks like Memphis is going to have Jaren Jackson Jr. available for this game. I think that's enough. I think that's going to make us lean towards Memphis on the road in this one, where they're 16-12-0. That's a pretty reasonable road mark, and Charlotte is not very good at home. So going to go with Memphis. These are two terrible teams, though. Keep an eye on the injury report. This probably isn't going to be a spot that we're betting, but we do like Memphis in this one a decent amount. Chicago playing at Orlando. Chicago's getting 4.5 in this one. The Bulls come into this game fresh off of a win over the Grizzlies. They've now won 2 straight and 3 of 4, but one of those wins is over Charlotte, so we're not going to overreact to that. Winning at Memphis, not so great, but their win against the Timberwolves was very solid. The Bulls are trying to figure out a way to move up the standings. They were very, very quiet at the trade deadline. They kept this group together. I'm not really sure what they see in it, but that was their decision. We see the Orlando Magic, however, come into this game fresh off a blowout win over the San Antonio Spurs. This was not a team that really needed to make moves at the trade deadline, and they didn't really. So we expect them to be at full strength, playing great. Orlando is 15-7-0 against the spread at home. We are going to be taking Orlando in this one. Orlando minus 4.5. That can end up being one of our bigger bets of the night, especially if Chicago has anybody sit out. Alex Caruso sits out or any of their main players. We're going to be big on Orlando. Regardless, though, we're going to be on Orlando minus 4.5 as our pick in this game. The red-hot Cleveland Cavaliers head to Toronto to take on the Raptors. Cleveland comes into this game playing amazing. They're just killing it right now. They've won 8 in a row. They're charging up the standings in the Eastern Conference. This is a scary, scary team. Cleveland is 13-10-1 as a road team and 9-2-0 against the spread with a rest advantage, which is what they're going to have in this one as Toronto played last night. The Raptors took on the Houston Rockets and came away with a 3-point win. Pretty impressive. But on no rest this season, Toronto's only 3-6-0. We're slamming it on Cleveland in this one. The Cavaliers are only minus 8 points in this game. We think Cleveland comes away with a big win. They're taking absolutely no prisoners right now. This squad is looking healthy and ready to go. They are just killing it. Cleveland, minus 8, minus 9, whatever this gets up to pretty much, we think the Cavaliers are going to win in an absolute blowout. So take Cleveland in this one, print some money. The Houston Rockets head to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Houston is 9-13-1 against the spread as an away team and 5-3-1 against the spread on no rest. So they're decent on no rest. They just lost at Toronto last night and now they have to head to Atlanta. That's a pretty decently long flight. So they're going to be a tired team. Atlanta comes into this game 7-19-0 against the spread. They're absolutely horrendous against the spread at home. They just took down the 76ers by 6 points, which great. That's what we predicted. Put that one on the board for us. But are they going to be able to do anything reasonable here against Houston? The Rockets come into this game, man, they're having a hard time staying healthy. They're really missing Fred VanVleet, but once they get him back, maybe they'll be able to turn it around. In this one, I think we're going to side with Houston. The Rockets are getting 4.5 points, which isn't nothing, and the Hawks are going to be exhausted playing at home. Atlanta pretty much stood pat at the trade deadline. Dejounte Murray could be back for this game, so if he is, that might change things a little bit. Keep an eye on the injury report, but this game, I'm not seeing a ton of value. Won't be one of our bigger bets. The Indiana Pacers, coming off an absolute blowout loss against the Golden State Warriors, head to New York to take on the Knicks. The Knicks come into this game playing pretty well, but they are very banged up. They did just lose to the Mavs in a blowout, but they weren't really playing anybody, so that's not that big of a deal. Picking up Bogdanović is a huge deal. I think this team clearly won at the trade deadline. OG having elbow surgery is not a great look. Things are kind of in flux for the Knicks right now. They have to be a little bit scared with their health and everything that's going on. Picking up Alex Burks gives them some much needed depth. Brunson is listed as questionable for this game, so keep your eye on all the injury reports for this one. The Knicks are plus 4.5, so to me that would indicate that we are not going to see Brunson play. We don't really know who the Knicks are going to have in general, so we are going to just take Indiana, who are 13-10-1 against the spread as a road team, and looking healthy for this game. Tyrese Halliburton is listed as day-to-day, but we expect him to play. He'll be limited on his minutes a little bit. He'll probably play only around 30 minutes, but I think that'll be enough against the skeleton crew from the Knicks. So take the Pacers to get the win and cover on the road in this one. We like this one quite a bit as soon as we get confirmation that Jalen Brunson is not going to be playing. The Phoenix Suns head to Golden State to take on the Warriors. The Suns have won 3 in a row. They just managed to get the win over the Jazz in a game where Devin Booker did not play. He's listed as active for this one, so I don't think we have to worry about that, but Bradley Beal is having some right ankle issues, but he's also listed as probable. He played really well against the Jazz, so that's a good look for them. Phoenix is pretty much an even team when they're against the spread when they're playing as the away team. Golden State has been terrible when playing at home, but they've been playing better lately. The Warriors have won 3 in a row. Curry has been going absolutely bonkers. This could be an interesting spot for Golden State. This could be something of a statement win if they can find a way to get the win in this one. We really don't know which way to go. Is our Warriors fandom a little bit clouding our judgment? I'm not sure. This isn't going to be one of our bigger plays of the day, I don't believe. We're giving a slight edge to the Suns in this one. I think Golden State's going to struggle to guard all of these lethal offensive weapons on the other side of the court. But with Kuminga playing so well, Andrew Wiggins playing well, Clay even has shown some signs of life, Draymond Green is out there, the bench is starting to get healthy. Like, maybe Golden State's poised to go on a run. So I could see this one going either way. If you're going to force me to bet it, I'm probably going to go with the Suns, assuming that everybody's going to be playing. So that's our lean on this one, not one of our bigger plays. The New Orleans Pelicans head to Portland to take on the Blazers. New Orleans is playing right now at the Lakers, so they're going to be playing on no rest in this game and coming off a game against a very, very tough opponent. Right now, the line is showing as Portland plus 7.5, so it seems very clear that the Pelicans are expected to rest some players. We see Portland coming into this game not playing very well. They're 11-12-0 against the spread as a home team, and they are 6-7-0 against opponents when they have a rest advantage. So I think we're actually leaning towards Portland in the points in this one. We have to wait and see who New Orleans is going to be resting. If they're resting Zion and somebody else, then we'll definitely like Portland, but we have to just wait and see on the injury report. So like I said, if the injury report favors Portland, we'll take them and the points in this one. That's it for a very, very busy Saturday slate. Obviously, we've got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. Get over to stumpthespread.com so you can see our free pick on that game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Put your bets down in the comments. I read and research every single comment you put down there. You can ask me about player props. You can ask me about anything you want. I read and respond to every single comment. Hit that thumbs up button. We will see you tomorrow with another free pick video. Have a good one. See you guys tomorrow.